everyone. Welcome to another Family Focus. I'm David Wade, joined in a moment by Dr. Mallika Marshall. Do you find yourself in a battle of wills whenever you tell your child that it's time to stop playing video games? Well, a recent Wall Street Journal article examined why it's so difficult for kids to put down that controller to do just about anything else. Dr. Mallika joins us now, and what did they find?
Have you experienced this yourself yet?
I have, especially sometimes in the morning. We'll let the kids play like one game on a phone before it's time to put on the shoes.
Okay.
And if they're in the middle of that game, getting them to stop is impossible.
Right. It's torture, right?
It is torture.
And you know, most kids will whine and say, come on, let me play a little bit longer. But some kids get pretty aggressive and they can throw tantrums and they can yell and scream. And the question is, why don't they do that when you tell them to put down their Playmobiles or their Legos?
Yeah.
And so neurologists say, look, kids' brains aren't developed enough to be able to stop doing something that they find so incredibly rewarding in lieu of doing something else. And while most kids won't develop any sort of gaming problem or disorder, they will choose to play games over eating, sleeping, doing their homework. So it's a battle that almost all of us parents have to deal with.
Now, you were saying that it's like taking candy from a baby. I think you mean that that's how they'll respond, right? Because taking candy from a baby is easy. Taking the controller away or the iPad or whatever away is very difficult.
Well, yes, you can physically do it, but they're going to yell and scream much like a baby would. So it's really important to set rules and to stick to those rules. And so kids need to understand when they can play and for how long they can play. So, for example, my kids are not allowed to play video games during the week. I'm not saying that's for every family. If they do play during the week, say you can only play for an hour, or you have to finish your homework and then you can play for a short period of time. The other really important thing is to give them a warning. I find this really helps with my kids. So if you say, okay, guys, 15 to 20 more minutes, that's it. Most of these games don't last longer than 5 to 15 minutes, so it gives kids something to work towards. So they won't start another match or battle if there are only 2 minutes left to that warning time. You can have the kids sort of participate in the rulemaking, which makes them feel like they have a little bit of power in it. But if you find that there's something really wrong and your kids are not responding and you really think that they have a problem, time to talk to a therapist, because sometimes kids play games in order to cope with underlying anxiety or depression that they might have. Not most kids, but some.
Let me just say the time limit thing, I think, works for everything, not just video games. When you suddenly, say you're having fun at a trampoline park, and then you just suddenly tell the child, okay, time to go now, they will not be happy. But when you tell them, okay, kids, 10 minutes, 5-minute warning, 2-minute warning, it almost always goes much better.
It goes much better, right? And again, it's that snatching away in the middle of something, like they really just need to finish that match in order to have some sort of psychological satisfaction. So do your best not to interrupt it right in the middle of their excitement.
And I think that's why they don't get so angry with the Legos, is because that's an ongoing thing.
True.
Whereas if you're playing Minecraft or something else, you're in the middle of that level.
It's a 10-minute battle, and I just have to finish it, right?
I need to finish. All right, good information.
You understand.
Oh, I
You're
understand. I understand. And I'm telling you, the time limit is the #1 thing. 1 minute left. Here's another one. And I'm not the doctor here, but I have good advice. Take your phone, put a 2-minute timer on it, and when it starts going beep, 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 the timer's up. The kids always fall for that.
Right.
They always fall for that.
Do you make the little noise? You don't actually set the timer?
No, I mean, it makes the noise, but you don't always have to set it for the time that you said. You can say you have another 5 minutes and set it for 2 minutes.
Oh, well, now you're lying to them, David. That's a whole nother segment.
We can edit that. We'll edit that part out. No, we won't. It's true. It works. Dr. Mallika with great advice. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you for watching Family Focus.